So, in another reality, we're playing Verdansk and jumping into Season 3 right now. But in our reality, that's now pushed back another 2 weeks until the 3rd of April. While I'm expecting the season to be entirely revealed to us over the course of next week sometimes, we have been getting the breadcrumb trails to Season 3 dropped here ahead of that full-on reveal. So today I want to take a look at everything that we know so far so that you're in the loop and have a grasp on what's upcoming so that you can potentially manage maybe some expectations or whatever the case may be. Just keeping you up to speed with everything here that will finally be the new content of Black Ops 6 after a very long dry spell. Drop your thoughts. What are you hoping to see in Season 3? Drop a like if you enjoy the video and make sure to subscribe for more FPS coverage here. But honestly, I'd love you to also check out the second channel. Been getting that up and running, doing a bunch of stuff here. Today, we just put up the first 3 hours of Atomfall, and of course, having a lot more planned for the coming days to weeks ahead. So if you want to join over in that community as well, I'd love to have you. But anyways, let's jump into what Season 3 has already shown off thus far. Firstly, the official items here. A few days ago, we got the outro cinematic for Season 2 of Black Ops 6. This continuing the campaign storyline that we had that then goes over into multiplayer a little bit. But in this, we have Adler set up in the Rogue team hideout in the outskirts of Avalon, that being hideout from Season 1, funnily enough, not Season 2. But he has a call with Woods while reviewing a bit of what's on the table in front of him, where Woods is running down how Hudson, even from the grave, may be giving them clues to take down the Pantheon. Since then, we've also seen a handful of other things, including the official key art reveal, and one of the big things here with Warzone, the Verdansk TAC map as of today. So Warzone on that side of things here, obviously Verdansk is coming back. That's been the key thing that has been rumored for a long time, but confirmed as of recently, and it's going to be coming with the launch of Season 3 here on April 3rd. But what's been revealed beyond that is the key art here, this being reminiscent of the original Warzone launch key art. We've got Hudson, Ghost, Marshall, Woods, Sev, and more, but notably back is Mace, who we also haven't seen in a few years. Someone along with Domino, who is rumored to be returning here and seems to be confirmed by this key art. Domino also being a part of that Verdansk confirmation with the teaser trailer a couple of days back. Other noteworthy items, Hudson is holding the Kilo, Ghost is holding the AMAX, and Mace is holding the HDR. So those 3 classic Modern Warfare 2019 weapons that we had from the original Verdansk era, those appear to be returning as well. Those were all rumored. It was also rumored the Growl would be coming here at some point, but whether or not that's a mid-season weapon or Season 4, we don't quite know. But those were seen in the key art. Additional things you can probably take away from the key art is that, did you catch the zip line on the edge of the skyscraper downtown? That seems to be a bit indicative of a later state of Verdansk, not necessarily having the one-to-one version from March 2020 returning, so this seemingly offering additional flank routes to those rooftops. While we don't know if every zip line is returning, I always remember the ones like the airport rooftop or hospital's rooftop, the downtown apartment high-rises and the skyscraper. I'd be curious if we see that interior zipline in Dam. That was one that was introduced a little later than others, but regardless, if you are one of the people that don't like the ziplines, you like those sort of, there's only one way in and out type of it, one that was never touched from the very beginning was ATC at airports. So that was something you might still have that to contend with. But additionally, the little bird here is right out there in the open, seemingly confirming that rumor that it was returning, hopefully taking out the existing helicopter in its place. That's been there since Warzone 2's launch, and the physics of that thing was just, honestly, it sucks by comparison, which I guess the physics is a topic in and of itself, so we'll see if that returns to the physics of Warzone 1's control on the little bird, but we'll have to wait and see. The Ferris wheel was also something that was there and was a little confusing because that obviously is not in downtown, but instead is normally in promenades. So my guess is this isn't going to be sort of shifted over into downtown, because if you look at the TAC map, that is something that's not actually there. The downtown TAC map has not changed for Verdansk, which, speaking of, the TAC map was released today. Looking at it, it's the same, but a little different, if that makes sense, just kind of like in the way that it's presented. Obviously, locale-wise, exactly the same, but there appears to be rivers between TV station and right at the edge of the map by Quarry, which is odd. There also appears to be a not-so-frozen dam, which again is odd. But do we think this will actually be the case, or just a way that they've sort of made this in the TAC map? Because according to Insider The Ghost of Hope, it seems like that's not the case, that it's not going to be something with rivers or anything like that. He stated, "I know it looks like there's water within the rivers on the TAC map, but as far as I know, it's not actually deep enough to swim in." kind of how Modern Warfare 2019 and the Warzone original map had those like puddles you could walk in, but they weren't actually water that you'd swim in. He said it also magically just stops halfway, where swimming will only be on the bottom area, which was added so people don't insta-die like Warzone 1 when they touch water, which is, I guess, an interesting way to put it, because yes, it's nice that you won't insta-die, but there's truly nothing in the bottom portion here of that. So if you could just swim out to nothingness, it might just be something that is a place to go AFK, I guess, if you want to. But anyways, he also did chime in on an additional slight change where he said, if you look closely enough, you can see the stadium roof is a tad bit different than the OG version. And like I said before, it will have an interior. This has long been the rumor with Stadium now, which I think is an interesting deviation from the original 1-to-1 in, I think, a better scenario. I think that the problem with the original, with that roof being intact and what we had in March of 2020, was there were situations where the rooftop was, one, inaccessible to anyone who did not have a helicopter, but two, you also had the zone closing in on the center of Stadium. So if you got that rooftop position, you would literally win, because you could go in as close to the center of the circle as it shrunk down at endgame compared to those that were locked on the outside and stuck in the gas at the bottom. So having either the interior open up but the roof still intact, or zip lines up to the roof, or perhaps both, I think mitigates those huge problems caused by the shrinking zone on Stadium. So not original 1-to-1 with Verdansk, but also versions that I think were huge flaws that didn't otherwise affect the flow of the map or anything like that with the original Verdansk. But that was the Warzone and Verdansk stuff that has been heavily marketed so far. Additional stuff we've seen officially has come from Zombies content previewed. We had the full confirmation of Shattered Veil, the newest round-based map, launching with Season 3, not after, not delayed until next season, nothing. We got a few other teasers and images and showcasing the lore a bit of what we can expect with Shattered Veil, but personally, I was not really expecting this. I'm pleasantly surprised, like, don't get me wrong, I will absolutely take another Zombies map here at this, but getting a map in Season 1 with the Reloaded update and Citadel de Mor, a map at the Season 2 launch in the Tomb, albeit that was a smaller scale map comparatively from what people were maybe expecting, but then to get another one here the next season over in Season 3, I'm just hoping Zombies content isn't too front-loaded, if that makes sense. Like, there was a rumor that we'd end up seeing more than 4 maps in the post-launch year of support, meaning 5 Zombies maps post-launch. That would only leave 1 season out of the equation for launching something in a season. If that's the case, I genuinely thought that it would have been this season, given the full focus on the marketing-wise, at least, for Verdansk's return, and how, like, this is going to be the comeback for Warzone, or that's what they hope. But having a Zombies map means that it's not necessarily entirely abandoned on the premium side of the game as well, which, again, pleasantly surprised, but surprised no less. Multiplayer, well, we don't have as much information just yet. Of course, we did see those weapons confirmed in the key art of the Kilo, AMAX, and HDR, potentially the Grau at mid-season again, but beyond that, it really comes down to leaks and rumors. It was rumored that 4 to 6 multiplayer maps are going to be coming within Season 3, which is definitely nice, again, if you think about how much heavy marketing and emphasis there is on Warzone with this update. It is in line with what we saw the last 2 seasons. We had 6 in Season 1 if you count Nuketown Holiday, 5 if you don't, and then we had 5 in Season 2 across Bounty, Bullet, Lifeline, Dealership, and Grind. Now, one of these, according to Ghost of Hope, was mentioned to be a remaster, which could be any number of these. We did recently learn that launch was rumored to be coming as a map and a remaster in Black Ops 6, but it could also be held for COD 2025. But seems the expectation is for 4 to 6 maps here with this season. Pleasantly surprised once again. We've also heard, in terms of not only just maybe multiplayer, but like gameplay overall, leakers seem to be hyping up some of the game changes they've heard about as well, indicating that perhaps we have some noteworthy changes coming to the gameplay department, whether that be mechanics, whether that be weapon balance. We don't quite know until the patch notes hit, but I mean, the prospect of that sounds pretty nice. But that said, that leads us to, well, when will we know more for sure? The full-on marketing obviously is already starting. We're getting the breadcrumb trails leading up to this, but I would imagine we start seeing the big stuff next week, as we usually do, about a week out from each of the season launches. So I'd anticipate a full reveal of the season sometime next week. If we're going with the standard reveal period, it's around Wednesday or Thursday, about 1 week out as that marker, but maybe a teaser in the earlier portions of the week. But we're also probably going to have things like a Zombies trailer trailer, and I can't imagine they don't put out a Verdansk trailer that actually is like the launch of it. So a trailer for that as well. That's 2 additional days already. There's probably going to be an anti-cheat blog, since they mentioned in season 1 we'll have updates for season 2 and season 3 to that. So there's another day accounted for. We're going to have that battle pass trailer the week following, probably on that Monday or Tuesday, going into the start of April. But we'll see. One final note for season 3 that's a bit more personal, not necessarily pertaining to the content that we've heard about or anything like that, or the marketing, is unfortunately COD timing hits me for this launch as well. I was on vacation for the season 2 Reloaded update, gonna be away for a wedding here during season 3's launch. So basically everything up until the point of the update should be just fine and normal, but we might be delayed. We might not have an update on the patch notes covering that for update day and the weekend following, going into things like leaks or stealth updates. So a bit of a bummer, but ultimately also not the biggest deal, I think. But just as a sort of heads up, since we're talking about what you can expect here for season 3 going into it, also a little bit what you can expect here on the channel. So anyways, that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts down below. Is there anything in particular with season 3 you're hoping to see? Anything that you like out of what's been revealed so far? Let me know your thoughts down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it, and make sure to subscribe for more Black Ops 6 and other FPS coverage. Clearly, we've put up a lot of non-COD stuff, so hopefully you guys find some of that interesting. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.